Welcome to The Explainer. If you've ever had to get ready for a big exam, you know just how intense that pressure can be. So today, we're going to deconstruct what one platform is calling the ultimate survival kit for the B2 Cambridge exam. And trust me, the big idea behind it might just change the way you think about studying for anything.
So, the material we're digging into today really taps into a struggle that, let's be honest, is pretty universal. Because if you've ever studied for a major test like this one, you are definitely going to know this feeling.
This just says it all, doesn't it? That feeling of taking one step forward only to realize you've forgotten three other things along the way. It's such a common struggle in language learning. But the problem isn't just about memory.
It's really about the anxiety, right? The pressure that makes you doubt everything you thought you knew. And that leads to these simple little mistakes that can end up costing you big time. A mistake like this one.
Ah, a classic. This tiny mistake is one so many learners make, and it just instantly tells an examiner that there's a gap in your fundamental grammar. It's exactly these kinds of slip-ups under pressure that students are just desperate to avoid. So, how do you fix it?
Okay, so with the problem laid out so clearly, the source then introduces its solution, a platform called MyEnglishBro. And I love this. It's positioned not just as a tool, but more like a personality.
See? I love this framing. It's not some cold, intimidating software. The idea is that it's your study buddy, that one friend who actually gets it, explains things clearly, and creates this safe space where you can make mistakes like I am agree without any judgment.
And this slide really gets to the heart of what it's offering. The old way is just chaos, right? 30 different YouTube tabs open, trying to figure it all out by yourself. The promise here is to replace all of that mess with one single, clear, organized, and supportive path.
So what's actually inside this digital survival kit? Let's take a look at the actual features, the nuts and bolts designed to get you ready for the exam.
So the whole platform is focused on active learning. We're talking real exam simulations so you get used to the pressure, exercises that don't just tell you the right answer but actually explain it, instant feedback so you can correct your mistakes in real time, and, crucially, stuff you're not going to find in your average textbook.
Now, what's really interesting here is how specific it gets. Instead of just general practice, the platform zeroes in on these high-value sections like keyword transformation, which, if you know the exam, you know is one of the absolute trickiest parts. The goal isn't just practice, it's strategic, targeted practice. And this focus on strategy goes even deeper. The philosophy here isn't just about memorizing rules. It's about understanding the game of the exam itself.
Okay, here's another one of those seemingly tiny mistakes, just like I am agree, but the source points out that a mistake like people is can cost you a surprising number of points. Why? Because it shows you haven't mastered a really basic rule.
And this reveals a key strategy. Getting a high score isn't just about using complex vocabulary. It's about never ever dropping the easy points. Mastering these fundamentals is how you build a rock-solid foundation for your score.
The approach also gets super specific about the real challenges you face in the exam room. And the source uses this hilarious and, let's face it, incredibly accurate description for some of those trickier British accents you'll hear in the listening section. It actually promises to teach you how to understand even those hot potato accents.
Okay, so all of this is leading up to the final, and I think the most powerful idea presented in this whole thing. It's all about a fundamental shift, a total change in how you even see your preparation.
And this right here is the absolute core distinction. Preparation is kind of passive, You memorize things, you read, you hope it sticks. But training is active. It's all about building reflexes through targeted practice until the skills become automatic. It's the difference between being afraid of an exam and being ready to face the examiner.
So this whole thing transforms the student's journey into a clear, actionable process. Yeah, you start by logging in, but the real goal is to learn genuinely at your own speed. And notice that the final step isn't just take the exam, it's face the examiner. That implies a totally different level of confidence, doesn't it?
And there it is. This is the core metaphor that ties everything together. It completely reframes the entire process. You're not just a passive student hoping to get a passing grade. No, you are an athlete, a competitor, training for a specific event. The exam is the match, and the examiner, they're your opponent.
And that kind of leaves us with a final thought that goes way beyond just this one exam. When you're trying to tackle any complex skill, is the most powerful shift you can make, moving from the mindset of a student to that of a trainee. It's definitely something to think about.